What's up, everybody? Welcome back into another live charting. And today's live charting will be on Darian Mensah, Duke quarterback, after CBS reported that he is thinking about declaring. So, waiting for some feedback from NFL about what to do next. It was some information that I got in a text from a scout on last Tuesday. And if you're in the Discord, I sent the text message, and it's something I even said, like, I should have put this in inside information because I had it last Tuesday. But it was just like a text and bypass. So I was like, that's probably not enough to go off of for me to drop a bomb in insider information. Now I kind of wish I would have. Anyway, we're going to watch the ACC championship game here with Darian Mensah and kind of chart it out and talk through it. Is this a quarterback that deserves to be in the first round conversation of this class? Sellers has gone back. Ty Simpson has dwindled. My thoughts on Ty Simpson have been very well documented over the past 2 months now, probably. So quarterback 3 is wide open. Brennan Sorsby in the transfer portal now. So there really isn't a firm third quarterback in this class, and it could be Mensah if he decides to come out. So we're going to chart this game here real fast. Duke versus Virginia. In this game, he went 19 of 25, 196, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, as Duke beat Virginia 27-20 in overtime to win the ACC. So we're going to chart this. He also added 5 carries, no yards. But again, sacks count against as rushing yards at the college level, but his long was only 6, so not a huge rushing threat in this game. But we're going to chart this thing out. As always, I'm going to have my play-by-play open with me right here at my side, and we're going to chart this thing out. So let's get this thing flipped on over here. As always, I'm going to just use the sideline view because I don't need the end zone view. Sometimes I will go back to the end zone view to capture if like it's a contested catch and I need to see where the ball was leveraged, like super up and close. So, but we're gonna start sideline view only and go from there. But yeah, let's dive in here. Let me get the ESPN play-by-play up right next to us so I can skip through run plays here, since we're not really paying too much attention to run plays. All right. So first drive of the game is a 15-play. 75-yard drive. All right. Let's party. All right. First play of the game, 5 yards. Based on some other games I've already charted, I'm going to guess this is a screen. Just going to guess it's a screen. I could be very wrong. But they come out and they run an RPOs. Yeah, RPOs. Yeah, there we go. Okay. It's an RPO. All right, and again, I got to be careful. I think I pointed it out in my last Inside the Film Room, but these games that are played on NFL fields are tricky in terms of the numbers. So, little RPO, not much to talk about here on this first play, but yeah, we're a little tricky here on these NFL fields because technically, again, on NFL fields, this is the numbers on the NFL field. Right? This is the number on the NFL field. That is not the numbers for the college game. These little hash marks are the numbers for the college game. So just beware of that as well as we work through this. And I'm going to catch myself going. It was a nightmare. I mentioned last time when I was charting Kenny Pickett because Pitt plays at the Steelers Stadium. So 4-yard run. 3-yard run. All right, 9-yard pass. This is to the running back, so probably a check down. Yep. What's even the concept here? We got deep curls to the 3-man side, a little chip and release from the tight end, and a return backside. Or a chip and return out on the other side. I think it's a fine decision. He doesn't really, from the other games I've charted, doesn't really have the arm to make this throw. Like, this guy's picking that ball if he tries to make this throw. He might have been able to come here, but that's still a pretty easy break. This corner's leveraged well between both of those receivers. So I'm fine with the decision to come back underneath here and get himself 3 yards plus whatever the receiver can get after the catch here. So I'm going to throw that here. Bang. And again, as always, we will go over the chart at the end. The final product, what it looks like. Negative 2 yards here. Yep, we're going to get a screen. All right. So not a lot of film breakdowny stuff to go down through right now because through 3 passes we've got 1 screen, 1 RPO, and 1 check down. So that's kind of what we're looking at here to start the game. Let's hope it picks up a little bit. All right, where are we at here? 5-yard pass. Where was this ball? Ball's out on time. Pressured. Ooh, that's a nice little pressure from the defensive end. But we're looking 5 yards from hash to boundary. And we're moving on. Again, what we're looking at is press man. He's going to snap off an intermediate comeback there. Again, if this receiver here holds this guy in man coverage, which it is man coverage, and he's holding, this guy's not drifting to the flat. If this corner drifts to the flat, he's not going to throw that comeback. But he's got one-on-one out here. He puts that ball out here towards the boundary. It's a nicely leveraged football on the money. On a 2nd and 12, it's well to put him back in 3rd and 7. This is no play due to an ineligible man downfield. Now we're in 3rd and 13. Near midfield. Again, 4 down territory here, so we want to see maybe half the yards if Duke's planning to go for it here. First drive of the game, but it is 4 down territory, so. Again, Mensah, good job here. Step through. 1, 2, 3. Hey, that defensive end, by the way, has made a couple plays here, and I believe that's Ohio State transfer Milton, who I have had on my radar but haven't been able to check in. But if he keeps flashing like this in this game, he just had that inside swim last move, and he just converted speed to power here to get a pressure. So pressure's on two plays already this first. All right, now we got offside. They caught him on offsides on 4th and 7, man. And it's our dude 17 lined up in the neutral zone right here. That's brutal. All right, 16 yards here on 4th and 2. So they are going to go for it on 4th and 2. Got a little stack. And we're going to throw a slot fade. It's a good decision here. Again, they're sitting too high shell pre-snap. This guy's going to rob her down. Single high, rotate out. Single high is always a good opportunity to throw a slot fade. A stacked release as well doesn't give that corner any space to get up in the grill of the receiver. And that's off the mark. Wait a second. I missed a play here. Oh, they didn't call they took the offsides. Oh, this is, okay. I skipped ahead too far. My bad. So we'll go back and look at that, but this is the 4th and 2, 19 yards here. It's another RPO. Look at how the blockers are fine out here. It's an RPO on 4th and 2 here. Lets that ball go just outside the hashes. They'll call it on the hashes from the 42 to the 26. So 16 yards. That's a good anticipatory ball. Corner doesn't make a great play on it, but we'll give that to him. We'll give that one to him. Again, what's the concept here? It's RPO. It's an RPO boot slide. Because you got the slide here. You got a corner coming over top here, and then you got the backside over here. But that ball's out quick. Just in the nick of time. All right. Now this is the missed slot fade. We're cut back up here. Incomplete. He's going to want this one back, too, because this guy's wide open from the 25. So we're looking 25 yards. That's a deep ball. Opposite hash. I'm going to show the end zone angle because I want to break down some Mensah mechanics here. But again, that ball kind of flutters out there, too. One thing that I've noticed charting him so far is he does not have a very strong arm, especially driving the football those opposite hashes. But I do want to point out something mechanically from Mensah here that's bugging me a little bit. Let me get this throw on the chart real fast. And we'll go to the end zone view real quick here. So, this is the J.J. McCarthy thing that we harp on him about his upper body mechanics. Watch Mensah's front shoulder. What I mean by front shoulder, obviously, is the shoulder that's out in front here, right? The off arm. The off arm here. Right here. Watch that thing swing all the way open. Swings all the way open. Now, I don't think it impacts his accuracy, but I will say I don't think Mensah has much control over the ball when he has to kind of strain throw. He's got to kind of strain those opposite hash drive throws. But again, he's impacting his own stop transfer here too, and he's got to be a little wonky because he's got a man in his face here. But that front shoulder needs to stay tighter, in line with that hip. Again, his hips pointed forward. That shoulder flies open this way, right? The way you force the most stop transfers when your hips and your shoulders can stay in unison, like a rubber band effect. So that bugs me a little bit here, just watching this off the viewing here. We'll move on. That should have been a touchdown. I mean, they got a touchdown on this drive anyway, but all right, 3rd and 7 here. It's gonna just come back down and check it down. What we got here, coverage-wise. Looks like we've got a little here, dig behind, backside flag, and then the running back's going to run a Texas route back here. I think that's fine. Again, when you're looking here and you're too high, safety is sitting this far off the ball, and this guy bails the flat, they're giving you green grass right here, so I think it's a fine decision. It's on time as well. He's hitting that back foot and is out. All right, 4 yards up the hash here. And we're going to move on. Melton had another pressure, by the way, in case you're keeping track of that. Which we're not doing a film room on a Virginia defensive end, but it is something that I've noticed. Yeah. This is a touchdown throw here. And it's just a little tight end screen. So we're just going to plop a green dot on the map and move on here. All right, that's the first drive of the game right there for Mensah. And this is an interception drive. It's just a 2-play drive. This one's a loss of 4, so again, an RPO or a screen here to start this drive out. It's a screen. Watching, this is now my 4th game that I've charted of Mensah. This is a pretty prevalent theme, is this is how they start their drives. Screens or RPOs. Trying to stretch a little bit laterally on first down, 1st and 10. All right, here's an interception. Let's find out what happens here. 24. And that's what we're talking about. He didn't see the flat defender bailing. It's a great play. I also just don't think Mensah has the drive in that arm. Watch the ball just kind of flutter out there. That gives that linebacker time to break on this thing, man. Just not a ton of arm drive there to really fit that in there from the opposite hash. 24 to the 34, because we're going to the intended receiver here, so we're looking at 10 yards out here on the numbers. That'll be red. So, I'm high in the top of the quarterback class, and I've been pretty vocal that I'd take Dante Moore or Fernando Mendoza over any 2025 quarterback. With Sellers going back to school with the Simpson drop-off, it's been a little muddy after that. It might be a two quarterback class at the top, and then good luck finding depth after that. Not writing Mensah off yet, but this is my 4th game, and I've got a pretty decent sample size in my mind. But again, when you go from game to game, you can't let the last game impact how you view this game. So you got to kind of wipe the palate clean. I'm doing my best to do that. I'm not trying to let those other games bias me here.